Hello, and welcome back to Project Nihilum 0. Last time, we died. No, I'm not being overdramatic. Okay, we didn't actually die, but we sure had a pretty bad experience. Thanks, Delta. Also, Astaroth may now be fighting for favorites with Sorin in my head. I know I said it before, but I'll say it again. It's kind of funny how my reaction to Astaroth has changed so much from the, from the first few episodes to literally grinning over just seeing him. Again, what happened? Plan. The plan is not to die, is pretty much what it is at this point, because I almost died earlier. Maybe. Or I'm being overdramatic. That's also a possibility. It was just vomiting, it's okay. Right? I guess I did also pass out, so that's probably not normal. Oh well. Swishing, the door opens and you enter. To your surprise, the light on the ceiling of the room is on and Sorin is sitting up in bed, looking a little drowsy nonetheless. The caretakers stay outside and close the door behind you, maintaining complete silence.
Finally, there you are! How are you feeling?
His eyes reflect panic, which is now slowly slipping away from him. On shaky legs, you make your way over to your bed and sink onto it, exhausted. The mattress feels pleasantly soft this time. After your near-death experience, almost everything appears comfortable. Exactly my near-death experience. Either it was or I am being overdramatic, and either way, I am here for this. Your gaze wanders around the room, somewhat empty and absent. Your thoughts are once again revolving around the empty room in Delta.
Hey, say something!
Startled, you flinch and instinctively turn your gaze back to your cellmate. Sorry for the shock. Sorin, still visibly tense, digs his fingers into the fabric of his pants.
You better be! I was really worried!
Oh! Oh, you guys can't keep attacking my heart here. You guys can't keep doing this to me. He takes a few deep breaths, then his whole body seems to relax a little. His gaze becomes gentle.
Sorry, I shouldn't scold you. It's not your fault.
It's okay. You smile gently and take a deep breath. Sorin lets out a hearty yawn, blinking up at the brightly lit ceiling lamp. He waves to the camera and then silently points to the lamp on the ceiling. However, nothing happens.
He must have fallen asleep again. The slacker. Well, never mind.
Then he turns his gaze back to you. You yawn too, almost asleep while sitting up.
Hey, do you want me to read you something to fall asleep to? I have some nice books with stories.
You nod, your eyes already burning with fatigue, as you brush a few strands of hair out of your face. Your hand is still shaking. Wordlessly, you lie down and pull the blanket over you. A pleasant warmth envelops you and lets some of your tension evaporate.
Hey.
Irritated and tired, you force yourself to open your eyes again. The bright light blinds you, making you want to pull the covers back over your head. Then you look over at Sorin. He has scooted to the side of his bed, has a book on his lap, and beckons you over with a small wave of his hand. You know what? We'll join him. Why not? I can't say no to you. Tired and sluggish, you get up, the blanket still wrapped tightly around you. Almost dazed, you stagger over to him and let yourself fall onto his bed. Sorin slides back and forth a little until you are finally lying comfortably. Once again, Sorin looks over at the camera at the end of the room and points to the large light on the ceiling with an annoyed expression. Then the light snaps out. Only the small night lights on Sorin's shelf provide some light.
There we go.
Oh! Oh, this is actually kind of cute. Oh my god, look at him. Look at him. He's adorable. Oh, I made the right decision. I made the right decision. Oh my god. Smiling gently, he looks down at you and then turns to a page in the book.
Close your eyes and relax. It can be difficult to fall asleep after a stressful experience.
Smiling softly, you nod and snuggle up to him. Sorin is much warmer than your thin blanket, and for the first time you feel safe in this cold, brutal environment. Then your eyes fall shut.
Once upon a time, there lived a little girl. She used to live in a big house with her brother and her loving parents. From her bedroom window, she could see the whole huge garden that laid behind her house. Apple trees, bushes with berries, and flowers in the brightest colors grew there. After every rain, the whole garden smelled of fresh, wet soil, and the last drops on the leaves of the plants glistened in the sunlight. It was like a paradise.
Sound of the door, accompanied by footsteps, snaps you out of your deep sleep.
Good morning. Time to get up.
You sit up, feeling utterly drowsy. Sorin regains consciousness as well and brushes his tousled hair out of his face.
Already?
You have an examination coming up.
Then he turns his head in your direction, which is like not even like a foot away from him at best.
And you have your first hour of ability training scheduled today.
Did that really not get canceled because I almost died? Excitement immediately spreads and makes your heart pound. None of the three people present misses your sudden alert look. It's like, hey, I guess I lived long enough for this.
It's a big day for you, I know, so let's not waste any time. Besides, we have several other experts to take care of after you.
The morning routine is over quicker than you thought. A nice warm shower, putting on clean clothes, and brushing your teeth. Neither of you waste many words in the bathroom or in the corridors. Sorin seems to be far away in his thoughts today, while you are also thinking about your upcoming training session. With your sparse breakfast, you make your way to one of the tables at the back of the blue compartment. There are a lot of people in the same area again today, but you are lucky and managed to get a completely empty table.
My stomach is already grumbling. Oh, they really need to increase the rations.
So you have to eat more of that disgusting stuff? He thinks for a moment, then grimaces in disgust.
Ugh, you're right. Ew.
Yeah, ew. Nevertheless, you both start eating and choke down one bite after another. The murmur of the other people, accompanied by the clatter of cutlery, creates an almost friendly atmosphere, causing you to pause for a moment and enjoy the proximity of other people.
Oh, I know that guy.
That guy? Who is that guy? What is that guy? He leans further over to you and makes a small gesture towards an unusually tall guy further back in the room.
He blew up 2 rooms once. Don't ask me how.
He what? Who is that one with the many eyes?
Oh, that one? I don't know his name, but I wouldn't trust him. He seems to see everything and likes to snitch.
I mean, he does have a lot of eyes, so you know. He's definitely got eyes in the back of his head. Oh. Unpleasant. And the one without arms?
Ah, yeah. Aloy or something? Dangerous. Never listen to her for too long. She causes chaos in people's heads.
Oh, that sounds fun. He then continues to glance around the crowd. You follow his gaze and gradually notice that everyone, except you, is wearing white clothes with blue accents. Tell me, what's with the color blue? Sorin looks at you, tilts his head, and then it finally dawns on him.
Oh, that's what you mean. We are helping experts. Helpers. Well, except you, but the rest of us are.
Your gaze wanders down to Sorin. You raise an eyebrow questioningly. You too?
Of course. I want to gain more benefits and freedom. That's why I cooperate with the laboratories. Otherwise, I'd be living in a large room with over 20 exper, only allowed to leave my cell with a blindfold on, and even at mealtimes only with direct supervision. I help with research, take on small tasks, and give advice when necessary.
You ponder his words in silence. And what about me? I don't wear blue. I don't help with tasks. Nevertheless, we are roommates.
I've thought about that too. I think the labs would like to recruit you as a helper and show you the benefits of this rank for now. At some point, they'll ask you about it. Being a helper isn't bad.
He leans over to you again and whispers barely audibly.
But I wouldn't turn down a chance to escape.
Whoa. What? He grins broadly and gobbles down another bite of his food.
But it's not gonna work anyway.
Why?
My legs? Running away? No way. Fighting, climbing? Pff, impossible.
He laughs. You look at him silently. He's still chuckling. Then his gaze suddenly turns serious.
If you ever get the chance, I would help you as much as I can.
A sudden hint of panic spreads through you. Shh! People are listening, aren't they? Amused and relaxed, Sorin chuckles and he nudges you with his elbow.
You can talk about anything here. Because of the background noise, the guards can't hear anything, and the individual helpers are busy with themselves.
Oh, yeah?
About that. Sorin freezes when a young woman appears behind him. She stares down at him, serious and silent.
I'm warning you. Do not attempt to escape. You won't make it, and the consequences are harsh. Besides, who would give up their privileges as a helper?
I'm currently not a helper, so I don't know.
Just one roommate, personal possessions, non-violent treatment by the guards. It's a much more pleasant life than the normal expers of green, gray, and red have.
Suddenly, Lilith goes quiet. Something in her gaze changes, but you can't quite interpret it. She continues in a hushed, whispering voice.
However, no one is really safe here, no matter what rank you are.
Without another word, she turns and leaves. Sorin and you stare after her until she has completely disappeared from your sight. A sigh escapes Sorin, who stares down at his plate again. It is empty. You've finished your breakfast too.
Well, shall we?
You go to the checkup. I'll go training.
That's right.
You nod, then push Sorin between the rows of tables, over to the door. Your caretakers are waiting patiently for you there and accompany you out into the corridor. It's much colder here than in the canteen, so you start to shiver slightly.
Your appointments have been postponed until later. We'll take you back to your cell for the time being.
You're telling me the only reason I woke up is getting cancelled? Okay, that's mean. A disappointed sigh escapes you, while Sorin gives you a pitying look.
The training room needs to be thoroughly cleaned first. There's been an accident.
An accident? What kind of accident? The words catch in your throat as the caretakers continue to lead you and Sorin through the corridors. You apparently take a slight detour, so that you are now standing in an unfamiliar section of the lab. It is freezing cold. Even your breath floats through the air in small white clouds. You are quietly led past the large windows, behind which are small surgery rooms. One of them is occupied. Muffled screams filter through the thick glass. You watch in sheer horror what is happening behind the glass. The person on the surgical table is writhing and struggling, while blood oozes from a gaping wound on his stomach. A shiver runs down your spine as you realize you've seen him in the canteen before. He's a helper. Sorin stares in shock as well, but he's seen this sort of thing a few times before.
Like Lilith said, you're only safe as long as you're obedient and useful.